Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone.
Salam, madam. Morning, madam.
Assalamualaikum.
Before we start, please key in your attendance. I repeat, please key in your attendance. Can you see my screen?
Yes, madam.
Yes,
All right.
madam.
Before we continue with lecture 3, chapter 6, we continue our lecture 2. Example, the last example for lecture 2. We haven't finished discuss example 4. So let's continue with example 4 first before we continue with lecture 3 of chapter 6. Okay. All right. Example 4. For the frequency distribution given below, we have a class interval and frequency. The question asks to find the mean, mode, median, mode, median, first quartile, third quartile, interquartile range, 10 percentile, and find the value of M if 30% of the data is greater than M. Okay, so first you must construct your frequency table. You need to find X and cumulative frequency. Okay, so let's say we have here class interval 20 to 29. So this is 24.5. Okay, so now we have X and cumulative frequency. Ini awak dah buat ke belum? Table ni?
Dah, madam.
Dah,
Okay.
madam.
Alright. So now, the first question, we want to find the mean. Okay. What is the formula of mean? What is the formula of mean for group data? So, mean, which is X bar equals to summation of Fx over summation F. So, what is your summation of Fx? So, you need to insert your calculator with X and then F. And then you need to find summation of Fx. Okay, what is your summation Fx? Dah cari dah? Have you find summation of Fx?
6580.
So 6,580 over total frequency is 100, 120. Okay, so the mean, what is your answer for mean?
58.83. 54.
54.83. So this is correct. So jadi mean kita is 54.83. Sekejap ya. Wait. Alright. Now we are going to continue to find the mode. Okay. So how to find the mode? So the formula mode is equal to LB plus D1 over D1 plus D2 multiplied by class width. Okay. So first you need to find you need to identify the row, which row you are going to find mode. So mode is actually the highest frequency. So as you can see, the third column here is frequency. The most frequency is 45. So means this is fourth row lah. Fourth row is involving for mode. Okay, what is your LB? Lower boundary for this
49.5.
49.5. And then what is your D1? D1 is the difference between 45 and 20.
25.
So this one is 25. And then your D2 is 20. Okay, am I correct? D2 is 20?
Yes, madam.
Alright.
Yes,
So
madam.
what is your C?
10.
C, suppose let's say kat sini the fourth row is the lower boundary is 49.5 and the upper boundary is 59.5. So the C is 59.5 minus 49.5 which is equal to 10. So jadi we substitute all the lower boundary is 49.5 plus D1 is 25 over 25 plus 20 times 10. Alright, so what is your mode? You calculate
55.06.
55.06. So the mode is 55.06. Okay. And then next, we continue with question C. We are going to find median. The formula for median is LK plus N over 2 minus cumulative frequency before class median over frequency FK multiplied by C. Okay, so the median here, the median is similar to the mode. It means we need to find the row. Which row is median is located. So actually you can see kalau nak cari which row for median, you can see at the frequency, cumulative frequency. Okay, so the total frequency is 120. So means 120 divided by 2 is 60. So jadi kalau kita tengok kat sini, the 60 suppose is which row? On which row? Is it third row or fourth row? Row yang ketiga ataupun row yang keempat?
Row ketiga.
Suppose is row ketiga. Sure.
Fourth row.
Fourth row. Okay. Kalau kita tengok kat sini, if you can see cumulative frequency, tengok betul-betul. So kalau kita tengok dekat third row is 35. 35 is it complete is 60? Adakah dia dah cukup 60? Belum cukup. So then we need to maksudnya median tu suppose in the fourth row. So kat sini suppose median duduk dekat row yang sama dengan mode. So means that dia punya LK is 49.5. Okay. And then cumulative before, this is cumulative before, FK minus 1 is 35. And then dia punya frequency FK suppose 45. So jadi, so then we substitute. The LK is 49.5 plus N over 2 is 120 divided by 2 minus FK minus 1 is 35 over 45 multiplied by C. C kat sini is similar to the previous is 10 lah. So then we calculate our median is equal to
55.06.
55.06.
55.06. 6. Alright. And then kita continue with first quartile. First quartile is Q1. So then Q1, the formula is similar to the median, but we change n/2 to n/4. So then LK plus n/4 minus FK minus what? Over FK multiplied by C. Okay. So first you need to identify which row for Q1. So 120 divided by 4. So you get what value? 124 divided by 4.
30.
30.
30. Suppose which row?
Third row.
Third row.
Suppose is third row. Okay, so this is the blue color. Okay, we highlight the third row with blue color. So let's say this is this one is for Q1. Okay, so jadi Q1, the LK here is supposed 39.5. And then the cumulative before. Suppose we need to change the color. Kita tukar color. Let's say blue. Okay, LK is 39.5. FK minus 1 is 15. And then FK here is 20. Then the C suppose is 10 lah. Alright, so jadi then Q1 is equal to 39.5 plus 120 divided by 4 minus cumulative before is 15 over 20 multiplied by 10. Alright, so then your Q1 is equal to
47.
47. So the Q1 here is 47. And then we are going to find question E, we are going to find Q3. So this is also similar to the Q1, but we change n/4 to 3n/4. So mean Q3 is equal to LK plus 3n/4 minus FK minus 1 over FK multiplied by C. Okay. So then which row for Q3? So suppose 3/4 times 120, we get
90.
we get 90. So then which row is 90? 90 is the fifth row.
Fifth row.
Okay, so then so this one is okay, so this one is for Q3. Okay, so the LB here, LK for Q3 is 59.5, and then FK minus 1 cumulative before is 80, and then for Q3 for FK is 25. So then Q3 is equal to LK is 59.5 plus 3/4 times 120, which is equals to 90. And then minus with 80 divided by the FK here is 25 multiplied by 10. So then your Q3 is equals to you calculate dapat berapa? What is the answer for Q3?
63.5.
63.5. So this is your Q3. And then F, for question F, we are going to find interquartile range. So IQR is actually Q3 minus Q1. So Q3 here is 63.5 minus with Q1, we get 47, which is equals to find the difference between Q3 and Q1, we get 16.5. Betul tak ni? Betul tak Madam kira 16.5?
Betul.
Alright. So then next kita continue with 10 percentile. So now G is P10. P10, the formula is similar with the median, but we change n over 2 to 10 over 100 n. So this one P10 is equal to LK plus 10 over 100 n minus F cumulative P4 divided by frequency Fk multiplied by C. So then which row is for P10? Row mana satu untuk P10? So jadi awak kena kira dia.
Second row.
10 over 100 times 120. Dapat berapa? 10 over 100.
12.
12. 12. So suppose 12 is the second row. So jadi second row dia maksudnya bila kita sebut P10 in second row. Okay. So means dia punya LK is 29.5. Cumulative before is 4. And then the frequency is 11. So there you substitute. LK is 29.5 plus 10 over 100 multiply 120 minus cumulative before is 4 over 11 multiply by 10. So then P10 you calculate 29.5 plus 12 minus 4 over 11 times 10, we get 36.77. Betul? 36.77 kan? Alright, and then the last
Betul.
okay, and then the last question us to find the value, find M if 30% of the data is greater than M. Okay, bermaksud kat sini 30% of data is greater than M. Suppose dia daripada bawah lah, daripada bawah ni 30% is greater than 30%. Maksudnya kat sini daripada bawah ni 30%. Kita kena identify, we need to identify which row. So maksudnya daripada atas sampai dekat sini is 70%. So maksudnya actually M is equal to P70. PM is equal to 70 percentile. Dia sebut 30% of the data is greater than M. So M boleh jadi in the, let's say, in the third row or fourth row or fifth row or sixth row. So as long as greater than 30%. So means that the M here is supposed 100 times dengan minus dengan 30, we get 70%. So mean M is actually P70. So then you need to find P70. So the formula for P70 is LK plus 70% and minus FK minus 1 over FK multiplied by C. So then, so dia duduk dekat row mana? Which row is for P70? Yang ni awak kena cari. 70 over 100 times 120. So you get
84.
what? 84. 84 suppose is
Fifth row dia tu.
fifth row. Is similar with Q3 ya. So kat sini pun kat sini P70. So means that the lower boundary is 59.5. Cumulative before is 80. FK is 25. So then we substitute LK with 59.5 plus 70 over 100 times 120. We get 84 minus cumulative before is 80 over 25. So then your P70 is actually M. So what is the value for M?
61.1.
61.1. So this is M. The value M is 61.1. Okay. Kalau let's say the question says that find the value of M if 80% of the data is greater than M. So we want to find P what? Which percentile? Kalau dia kata 80% of the data is greater than M.
P20.
P80. Okay. Correct. Good. Alright. So then kita dah habis lah lecture 2 of chapter 6. Now we continue with lecture 3 ya. Alright. This is the last lecture for chapter 6. Okay. So we are going to discuss 6.3 measures of dispersion. Okay, for this lecture, we are going to find and interpret the variance and standard deviation for ungroup data, and then find and interpret the variance and standard deviation for group data, and find and interpret the Pearson coefficient of skewness. Alright. Let's say we have a two set of data might have the same mean value, but may differ in their dispersion. So let's say the set A and set B ni, we have the same mean, which is the mean is equal to 25. But most of the number in the first set are around the mean value. You can see the set A, the set here, A here, the mean is 25, and the data is around the mean 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and so on. So kalau kita tengok, if we see the set B here, we have the data 2 is far from the mean. Okay, so means that the second set, the set B, is more spread away from the mean. So this is the comparison between set A and set B. You can see the bell shape here. The red color here, the bell shape in red color here is for set A, and then the set B is here is in green color. So the difference in the spread of data can be determined by measure of dispersion. Two common measure of dispersion are variance and standard deviation. So kalau kita sebut measures of dispersion is actually variance and standard deviation. A bigger value of variance or standard deviation means that the data are more spread out about the mean and less consistent. So maksudnya kalau nilai variance ataupun nilai standard deviation tu besar, bermaksud dia kurang konsisten lah. So dia punya data dia jauh daripada bertaburan spread out about the mean. So jadi dia punya kurang konsisten lah. So jadi kita nak dia punya data tu lebih konsisten. So suppose dia punya data tu sepatutnya dia mesti around the mean. Dia akan jadi kalau around the mean dia variant dengan standard deviation rendah lah, rendah. Kalau rendah, variant dengan standard deviation rendah bermaksudnya dia lebih konsisten. Contohnya kalau awak punya result kan, awak ada result kelas A dengan kelas B. Okay. Dua-dua dia punya mean sama. Kita ambil result UPS, katakan UPS 2. Okay, dua kelas ni dapat dia punya mean dia sama. Tapi kita nak compare, kalau dia punya sama, mean dia sama, kita akan compare variant ataupun standard deviation. Kita nak tengok yang mana lebih baik, kelas mana yang lebih baik. So jadi kita akan tengoklah kira variant dengan standard deviation. So kita akan pilih variant kelas yang variant dengan standard deviation dia lebih rendah ke lebih tinggi, lebih besar. Rendah
Apa ni?
ke, kalau kan kata kita ada dua kelas A dengan B. Dua-dua ni dapat mean yang sama. Okay, so jadi kita nak compare dia, kita tengok variant dengan standard deviation. Yang mana lebih baik? Variant ataupun standard deviation yang lebih besar ataupun yang lebih kecil?
Lebih kecil.
Suppose is lebih kecil. Lebih kecil adalah lebih konsisten. Okay, so ingatlah kalau awak nak buat comparison macam itulah. Alright, so now variant and standard deviation for ungroup data. This is the formula for variant and standard deviation for ungroup data. This is for ungroup data. So jadi, as you can see, variant is S square, and while the standard deviation is S. Okay, so we get standard deviation by square root of variant. Okay, S square, variant S square is equals to summation X square minus summation X square over N minus 1. So, boleh cara nak tekan kalkulator dia sama macam kita tekan untuk mean. Kita akan masukkan X, dalam kes ni kita akan masukkan X kan. So, then boleh baca tak summation of X square dekat kalkulator? Dia dah tunjukkan hal itu kan?
Boleh.
Okay, so ini just substitute summation of X square, substitute of summation X dan substitute N. Alright, so then standard deviation is square root of variance. So means that square root of summation of X square minus sum X square over N minus 1. Alright, and then effect on measure of dispersion. Sama ada standard deviation ataupun variance lah. When a set of data U is changed uniformly by, okay, yang pertama kalau kita tukar dengan adding or subtracting a constant K. The measure of dispersion of the set of new data V are unchanged. So dia sebut kat sini, kalau kita ada data, contoh 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data kita. And then setiap data tu kita tambahkan 1. So kalau 1, 2, 3, kalau setiap satu kita tambah dia akan jadi 2, 3, 4. Dia akan bertambah secara uniform lah, maksudnya secara seragam. Dia tambah 1, tambah 1, tambah 1. So jadi dia punya standard deviation atau variant tak akan berubah. Boleh? Unchanged. Measure of dispersion of a set of new data are unchanged. Kalau dia tambah ataupun tolak dengan nombor yang sama, dengan value yang sama. So let's say kalau Miriam bagi contoh tadi, kita ada data contoh 1, 2, 3. Okay. Katakanlah ni variant dia 0.1 contoh. So kalau kita tambah data, let's say kita tambah setiap data ni dengan tambah 1. So dia akan jadi 2, 3, 4. Kalau kita kira variant dia still samalah. Dia tak berubah. Alright. So yang kedua, kalau if we multiply by a constant K, kita darab dengan satu, contoh kalau kita kata kita increase by 20%. So maksudnya kalau increase by 20%, kita multiply by berapa? Berapa? Contohlah kan kalau dia kata apa contoh contoh pendapatan lah, pendapatan. Okay, so dia nak asalnya pendapatan dia sekian. So sekarang dia nak, kita dah kira varian dia lah. Okay, lepas tu kalau dia tanya, dia kata dia nak tingkatkan pendapatan tu untuk setiap pekerja, untuk setiap orang tu sebanyak 20%. So maksudnya dia akan jadi berapa? Peningkatan dia akan sebanyak 20%. So jadi dia asalnya 100%, so dia akan jadi 120%. Betul tak? Logik tak Mary sebut ni?
Betul, Madam.
Okey. So maksudnya kalau 120%, adakah setiap data tu dia bertambah dengan nilai yang sama? Katakanlah kalau 100, gaji dia 100. Kalau 120%, dia jadi berapa? Dia bertambah sebanyak 120. Kalau gaji dia 200 sama tak? 120 tak? Cuba kira. 120% darab dengan 200. Dapat berapa? Adakah 120? Masih 120?
Tak.
Tak. So jadi yang ni case dia takkan berubah secara maksudnya samalah, perubahan dia tu tak sama. Okay, so yang ini dia akan jadi dia punya, kalau soalan dia nak interquartile range, so new interquartile range akan jadi, formula dia akan jadi K times original interquartile range. Yang ni interquartile range Okay, kalau dia nak new range, so K times dengan original range. Kalau new standard deviation, K times original standard deviation. So K ni maksudnya berapa yang dia meningkat lah. Kalau K yang Madam bagi contoh tadi 120%. 120% maksudnya 1.2 lah. 1.2 times dengan original standard deviation. Kalau new variant is K square multiplied by original variant. So ini case kalau dia berubah tak sama lah. Penambahan atau pengurangan dia tak sama. Kalau contoh tadi Mary bagi yang kalau dia gaji dia 100, dia bertambah 120. Tapi gaji dia 200, dia bertambah 240. Kan tak sama kan? Tapi dia sebenarnya peningkatan tu sebanyak 20%. Dia multiply by a constant K. Okay. Alright, so yang ini untuk case ni, effect on measure dispersion ni boleh guna untuk both group data and ungroup data. Dua-dua terpakai. Okay, now let's continue with example 1. Okay, the question asks to find the mean variance and standard deviation for the data below. So we have a 2, 7, 10, 9, 2, 5, 16. So jadi ini awak kena cari mean, variance and standard deviation. So jadi masuk dalam calculator, data dia ni X lah. So jadi mean X bar is equal to sum X over N. So sum X berapa? Masuk dalam kita kira.
51.
51. Okay, so sum X kalau kita masuk calculator, so we get 51 over, and here is 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, so then the mean X bar is equal to berapa dekat calculator tu? 7.
7.29.
Alright. 7.29. So awak kena practice tekan calculator. You need to try to use calculator to calculate mean, variance, standard deviation and so on. Okay, then we are going to find variance. Variance, the formula for variance for ungroup data. This is ungroup data. This is ungroup data. Tak kenal lagi, tak tahu. This is suppose ungroup data. So the formula for variance is x square equals to sum x square minus sum x square over n minus 1. So baca. Tak payah masuk dah. Pakai terus yang tadi. Sum x square berapa dekat calculator?
519.
Okay, minus 51 square over 7 over 7 minus 1. So then baca kat calculator. Yang bawah sekali tu. So we suppose is 24.57. Nampak tak? Dia bentuk apa tak kat bawah tu? Okay, 24.57. Okay. Then standard deviation is square root of variance. So jadi S equals to square root of 24.57. Yang ni baca yang kalau yang calculator hitam putih tu dia kena tekan arrow kan. So this one is 4.96. Okay. So jadi kita dah dapat ni. Dia nak mean, variance and standard deviation. Okay. Okay ni. Boleh move?
Okay, madam.
Alright, kita move example 2. Okay. The following is the systolic blood pressure. So this is data of systolic blood pressure. Of 10 patient in a hospital. So jadi soalan dia find the mean, standard deviation of systolic blood pressure of the 10 patient. Find the number of patient. This is number of patient. Berapa bilangan patient whose systolic blood pressure exceeds 1 standard deviation above or below the mean. So jadi dia nak berapa bilangan patient yang melebihi daripada mean tu dan kurang pada mean. Okay. Daripada maksudnya mean maksudnya kat sini mean tolak dengan standard deviation ataupun mean tolak tambahkan dengan satu standard deviation, tolak tambah dengan standard deviation lah. 1 tambah mean tambah standard deviation, mean tolak standard deviation. Okay. So jadi first kita kena cari mean. Yang ni group data or ungroup data?
Ungroup data.
Ungroup data. So kiralah masuk dalam calculator. This is X semuanya. Masuk cari mean dengan standard deviation. Okay. So mean X bar is sum X over N. So sum X berapa? N dah tahu dah, dia dah bagi tahu 10.
1518.
1518. So means mean dia is 151.8. Okay. Calculator boleh baca kan? Okay. And then continue ni A. Cari S dia. S is sum square root sum X square minus sum X square over N over n minus 1. So, sum x square baca 232,306. Betul tak? Minus 1,518 square over 10 over 10 minus 1. Then the S is equal to 14.43. Betul kan? Ni madam baca kat calculator je. 14.43.
Betul.
Sama tak? Alright. So this is question. Okay, dia straightforward saja. Dia tanya mean dengan standard deviation. Okay. So then kita nak soalan B pula. Dia kata, ni dia dah sebut tadi. Dia nak number of patients, one standard deviation from the mean. Maksudnya, above or below the mean lah. Satu tambah, satu tolak. So, one standard deviation above or below mean. Means that mean is 151.8 minus 14.43. Dia punya interval lah. Interval suppose start with satu tolak dulu, and then satu lagi tambah lah. So jadi kita dapat interval dia kalau kita kira ni 151.8 minus 14.43 ni, we get 137.37. Betul tak Mida kira? Awak kena check, takut Mida pun salah kira.
Betul.
Mida pun manusia juga. Betul lah? Okay. Lepas tu yang ini tambah 166.23. 166.23. Okay. So now kita dah ada interval dia. So dia nak number of patients. So jadi awak kena tengok data yang in between ni lah. In between nilai 137.37 dengan sehingga sebelum 166.23. Okay. Cuba tengok dengan yang atas ni. Kita kecilkan sikit. Okay. Mari tulis kat tepi ni lah. Kita punya interval 137.37 hingga 166.23. Okay. 165 ni boleh terima tak? Tengok satu-satu. Yang pertama,
Boleh,
165 boleh. Pangkah. Kau pangkah. Potong lah. Okay. 146 boleh tak? Patut 135.
Boleh, madam. Boleh.
146 boleh. 135.
Tak boleh. Satu tinggi tak
Tak ada ni bulat-bulat. Okay. 149 boleh. Tak boleh. Boleh. 151 boleh. 124 tak boleh. 155 boleh. 162 boleh. 158 boleh. 173 boleh tak? Ni dah
Tak boleh.
kan?
Tak boleh.
Boleh. So jadi ada berapa yang tak boleh? How many number of patient dia? 3. So jadi therefore number of patient salin balik dekat ayat soalan tu lah. With systolic blood pressure outside the range is equal to 3. Okay, so ada 3 yang tak menepati interval ni lah. Okay. Alright, so this is question number 2. Example 2. So now kita move kepada variance and standard deviation for group data. Okay, Variance and standard deviation for group data, dia punya dia punya simbol dia tu, notation dia sama je, S square dengan S. Variance is S square, but the formula for variance for group data is sum fx square minus sum fx square over n minus 1. Ni benda yang tak sama. Yang ni fx square maksudnya f darab dengan x square. X tu yang square. Yang ini sum fx. Sum fx semua tu, sum fx tu, semua tu di kuasa 2. Dia beza lah, bukan sama. Jangan duk confuse. Okey, ini pun Madam dah tunjuk dah hari tu macam mana nak guna calculator kan. So, kita masukkan data macam biasa kita cari min tu, masukkan x, masukkan f. So, then boleh baca dekat calculator, kalau sum fx square, kita baca yang sum x square. Kalau sum fx, we read sum x. Boleh? Dan standard deviation is square root of variance. Boleh kan ni?
Boleh, madam.
Okay.
Boleh.
So then kita move kepada example 3. The frequency distribution table shows the masses of loaf of bread produced by a bakery. So this is mass and frequency. So this is actually group data. Ni group data lah. For sure this is group data. Okay, bagi table kan. Table dan dia punya ada interval. Okay. Soalan dia find the mean, variance and standard deviation. And question B, the bakery allows only loaf of bread each with a mass of within 1 standard deviation from the mean to be sold in the market. Find the interval of mass of the loaf bread allowed to be sold. So maksudnya awak kena cari interval tadi dah. 1 standard deviation from the mean. Maksudnya awak kena create interval. Satu mean tolak dengan standard deviation, satu lagi mean tambah standard deviation. So awak kena tengoklah yang mana yang memenuhi interval tersebut, yang tu yang dia allow loaf of bread tu lah, allowed to be sold. Okay. So jadi first kena buat table dulu. Ni table dia. Kena cari midpoint dia. So mass dia kalau 420, 420 to 424. X dia berapa?
422.
Okay, so this one 427, 432, 437, and the last one is 442. Okay, so then first A, find mean X bar is sum Fx over sum F. Okay, masuk dalam calculator, masuk X, masuk F. So what is your sum Fx?
Kat 3180.
Okay, divide by total frequency dia is 100. So then you get 431.8 as the mean is 431.8. Then cari variance. S square is sum Fx square minus sum Fx square over n minus 1. Sum Fx square berapa? Baca dekat sum x square.
1864970.
18649
470.
470 minus 3180 square divide by 100 over 100 minus 1. So jadi variance dia dapat berapa? Baca yang bawah. 43.9. Okay. So jadi S dia square root of 43.9. Yang ni dapat 6.63. Betul? Betul kan? Kat kereta 6.63 kan?
Betul.
Okay. So ni A dia. A dia kita dah dapat. So now kita nak cari yang B dia pula. Okay. B dia dah sebut. Kalau dia dalam interval tersebut, so dia boleh jual lah. Bread, roti tu dia boleh jual lah. So jadi kita kena cari one standard deviation from the mean. So dia punya interval dia, mean tadi 431.8 tolak dengan standard deviation 6.63. Tinggal 431.8 plus 6.63. So then kita dapat interval di antara, tolong tolak, 425.17 to 438.43. Okay, so jadi carilah. Oh, dia nak interval saja. Okay, soalan dia nak interval saja. Find the interval. Bukannya so jadi interval dia yang ni je lah. Ini. So kalau tengok ni interval mana yang boleh. Ni antara interval yang kedua sehingga interval yang keempat lah kan. Dia nak interval je soalan dia. Dia pun tak perasan. Okay, so ni lah dia punya interval yang dia allow to be sold lah. Alright. Kita continue dengan example 4. Okay. The example 4, the frequency distribution table shows the hourly wages of workers in the factory. Okay, find the standard deviation correct to 3 decimal places. If the manager of the factory decide to increase the wage of each worker by 20%, find the new standard deviation. Ini yang relate tadi. Kalau nak cari new standard deviation, kalau dia multiply by a constant K, so new standard deviation formula dia apa tadi?
K times original standard deviation.
New standard deviation is K times K multiplied by original standard deviation lah. Okay. So jadi yang first kena cari standard deviation dulu. So kalau standard deviation awak still kena buat table ni lah untuk cari dia punya X dia. F dah ada, X dia awak kena cari. This is group data kan. Okay. So X dia kat sini kalau 5 to 7 suppose is 6, 9, 12, 15 and 18. Okay, so then cari. So question A, S is square root sum of fx square minus sum fx square over n minus 1. Masuk dalam kalkulator, you get sum fx square berapa?
6948.
6948 minus sum fx is 558 square over total dia adalah 50 over 50 minus 1. So jadi dia punya S dia 3.835. Correct to 3 decimal places kan? 3.835. So this is 3 decimal places. Alright. Betul? Kita baca kereta je kan?
Betul.
So then
Betul.
yang B tu tadi kita dah tahu dah dia punya peningkatan dia sebanyak 20%. Kalau 20%, so total akan jadi 120%. So 120%. 120% adalah 1.2 lah.
1.2
So,
ada.
Ya, so jadi K dia adalah 1.2. So new standard deviation is equal to K times dengan original standard deviation. So means that K is 1.2 multiplied by 3.835 lah. So then you get berapa? Kira. Darabkan dia.
4.602.
Okay. So jadi new standard deviation dia 4.6302. Okay. Ingat kalau dia tambah dengan menambah, tambah dengan tolak, dia punya standard deviation dengan orang variance tak berubah. Kalau case yang kena multiply, iaitu dia berubah. Okay. So then kita move kepada symmetry and skewness. Okay. This is the last part. Kita nak kira Pearson coefficient of skewness. Skewness ni kita nak tengok kita punya, sebelum ni kita ada explain yang bell shape tu kan, sama ada dia skewed to the right or skewed to the left or symmetrical. So benda ni boleh kira guna Pearson coefficient of skewness. Dia ada dua formula, satu involve with mean and median, satu dengan mean and mode. So dia punya formula dia adalah SK lah. SK tu Pearson coefficient of skewness. Equals to 3 multiplied by mean minus median over standard deviation, or SK is equal to mean minus mode over standard deviation. So awak kena ada value-value ni lah. Mean, median, standard deviation. Mean, mode, standard deviation. Okay. If SK is less than 0, then the data distribution is skewed to the left or skewed negative or negative skewness. So maksudnya kalau nilai dia negatif, so dia adalah skewed to the left. Kalau nilai dia positif, if SK is more than 0, then the data distribution is skewed to the right. Kalau nilai dia positif, dia positive skewness. If SK is equal to 0, then the data distribution is symmetrical. Maksudnya kalau nilai dia kosong, SK tu kosong, so dia punya bell shape dia is symmetrical. Dia symmetry ya. If SK in between negative 0.1 to 0.1, the term is slightly is used. So kalau nilai dia, walau dia positif atau negatif, tapi nilai dia sangat kecil lah ni. Contoh SK dia dapat 0.009. So dia punya tu menghampiri kosong. Walaupun dia positif tapi dia menghampiri kosong, so awak kena guna slightly ni. So maksudnya dia akan jadi slightly positif, slightly skewed to the right. Macam tu. Kalau contoh nilai dia negatif 0.001. So dia akan jadi slightly skewed to the left. Boleh? Boleh tak? Faham tak maksud madam? Yang ini, yang slightly
Boleh,
ni.
madam.
Okay, so ni kena alert lah. Kena tengok value dia. Alright, example 1. Given the following sorted data, find the mean and median. Hence, calculate the Pearson coefficient of skewness, describe the distribution. So, kena interpret lah based on Pearson coefficient of skewness. So, this is ungroup data. So, nak kira mean ni, mean dengan median ni sama lah macam sebelum ni yang kita belajar dalam ungroup data. So, jadi, mean X bar is equals to sum of X over N. So, ni masuk dalam calculator. So, sum of X dia is 24.8 over 10. So, then you get mean dia 2.48. Alright. So, nak kira dia punya median, awak kena tengok dia, adakah awak kena susun dia punya data dia. Adakah ini data dah tersusun?
Dah, madam.
Dah. So, jadi boleh cari S je lah. S is median is 1 over 2 times dengan 10. So, jadi S je 5. Kalau integer, jadi median adalah X5 tambah X6 over 2. So, X5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sini ya. 2.4 tambah 2.5 bahagi 2. So, then you get 2.45. Okay. Then, Kena cari, nak kira Pearson coefficient of skewness, kita boleh guna formula yang involve mean dengan median lah. So bermaksud kena cari lagi satu, kena cari standard deviation. So kena cari standard deviation. So square root sum x square minus sum x square over n minus 1. So jadi sum, baca dekat kalkulator, 67.52 minus 24.8 square over 10 minus 1 over 10 minus 1. So then S is equal to 0.818. Okay. So jadi now boleh cari Pearson lah. Formula dia SK equals to 3 mean minus median over standard deviation. So jadi 3 mean tadi is 2.48 minus 2.45 over 0.818. So jadi SK is equal to, tolong kira ni dapat berapa?
0.11 madam.
0.11 means that answer dia dah terkeluar, dia besar jugalah, 0.11 dia lebih kan. So jadi skewed to the
Positive. To the right.
to the right. Okay, so this is skewed to the right. Based on nilai ni lah, SK is equal to 0.11. Okay, yang ni contoh kalau dia ungroup data lah. Okay, now example 2 yang ni group data. The frequency distribution of the age in years of active patient in the clinic is given in the table below. Find the mean and mode, hence calculate and interpret Pearson coefficient of skewness given that the standard deviation is 6.798 years. So dia mirip dengan soalan assignment sebenarnya. Kalau perasan lah, kalau baca. Okay, so first kena cari mean, kena cari mode. Dia bagi dah siap-siap ni standard deviation, tak payah kira. Okay, so ini untuk kira Pearson coefficient of skewness standard deviation ya. Okay, so jadi mean is equal to sum fx over sum f. Masuk dalam kalkulator. So awak kena buat table sebenarnya. Kena buat table ni ya. Okay, buat table dulu. Sebab nak masuk kalkulator mesti ada table. So ni 10 to 15, 13, 17, 23, 27, 33, 37.
Yang dua ke 12.5? Ya Allah tu.
Yang mana?
Yang X 12.5.
12.5 lah. Saya kira. 10 tambah 15. Betul lah. 12.5. 12.5 betul. So ni suppose 12.5. Lepas tu 15. 70.5 kan? 70.5. Lepas tu 22.5, 27.5, 32.5, 37.5. Okay, so mean dia sum fx over sum f. Masuk dalam kalkulator. Berapa? Sum FX dia 1985 bahagi dengan 80. Sama dengan min dia 24.
24.8.
Okay. Lepas tu dia nak mode kan. Mode is LB plus G1 over D1 plus G2 multiplied by C. So LB dia mode dekat mana? Which row? 24 ni. This one. So jadi dekat sini suppose sini 20, sini 20. So, maksudnya LB dia 20 So LB dia 20. Dia tak ada 0.5 sebab dia sama. 20 tambah 20 bagi 2. 20. So then D1 dia sini. 24 minus 15 berapa? 9 kan? 9 over 9 plus 24 minus ni D1 and ni D2. So this one is 6 multiply by 5. This one is 25 minus 20 is 5 So jadi mode dia awak dapat kira 23. Betul tak?
Betul.
Okay. So jadi sekarang kita boleh cari SK dia. Mean minus mode over standard deviation. Mean dia 24.8 minus 23 over 6.798 yang dia bagi kan. So awak kira, so awak dapat 0.265. Ini medan kira lah. So jadi apa dia punya interpretation dia? Skip to the
right. Right.
skip to the right Alright. So this is your final conclusion lah. Okay. So dah habis lah chapter 6. So awak boleh buat lah semua. Medium rasa buat tutorial lah. Tutorial. Okay. So jadi next week kita continue dengan chapter 7. Chapter 7 is permutation permutation and combination. Pilih atur dan gabungan. So jadi sekarang ni kita berehat 20 minit boleh? Ini lama sangat. 10 minit lah.
Boleh,
10 minit.
boleh.
Tak boleh lama sangat. Kita berehat 15 minit lah. 15 minit. So nanti kita nak bincang tutorial vektor lah. Tutorial apa yang kita perlu bincang lah. Media nak tanya je yang mana masalah. Hari tu kita berhenti dekat mana tutorial? Tutorial 5.2 dah kan?
Yang chapter 5 ya, madam.
Macam 5.
Ya.
5.4 dengan 5.4 yang belum kan? Betul tak? Sebelum tu Mina dah tanya siap-siap lah. Sekarang tanya sekarang. Buka sekarang tutorial vektor. Soalan mana yang masalah? Buka MQ lah tutorial. Soalan mana yang masalah? (16 sampai 30). Ada masalah tak? 16 sampai 30.